Most people think that IKEA cannot look high-end, and I do not agree with that. That's why I have designed this entire room only with IKEA furniture to prove that it can. And no, it is not about making IKEA look less IKEA with some kind of hacks. It's about using layouts, proportions, lighting, texture, and styling the right way so the space feels warm, curated, and expensive. I'll show you exactly how I designed this room, which pieces I chose, my thought process on it, and what actually makes the final result feel designer, even on an IKEA budget. So let's get into it. All right, so this is the space we're going to be working on. As you see, we have different angles of the same room, and here is the kitchen, and then we have a small space that we can add a table maybe. You will see what I did with it. And then we have a small pantry. I did not work on that much, but there's where you can add a fridge and some other stuff. And as you can see, we have another view of it here. Then some more space right here in between the areas, because as you can see, if you look here, we have a small niche where we can actually put a couch and a TV, so we can make it a little bit more cozy. The space is extremely small. It's 55 square meters, as I remember, and this is European square meters, not American. So it's very, very small. The height of the ceilings is about 250 to 280. This is a new build. How tall the ceilings are, the specifications are not written in the specs, but I assume it's between 250 and 280. So as you can see, you have a better view of the niche where you can put like a small pantry, a fridge, or other stuff that don't fit in the kitchen right here. So we're gonna focus on making this area nice, then this area nice, yeah, and then this area, because these are the areas that we can work with. Okay, so first of all, we see that we have no kitchen. So this area here is supposed to be a kitchen, and we're missing that. This is something normal. It's common in Austria and Germany, where you don't have the kitchen installed in new builds or even in older buildings. So you have to buy it yourself. Assuming that people living here will be renting, we're not going to be focusing on the floor. I would replace the floor because I see that there's some damages, or maybe fix it depending on what kind of floor it is. But that is not the focus here. We're going to start with the kitchen. As I said, we have this niche here on the side where we can put the fridge and other things, other cupboards that we might need. So the only visible thing is going to be the kitchen, the sink and the stove and the cupboards. So I'm going to be adding, don't make me pronounce the names of things from IKEA. I will be having images on the screen with everything that I am adding, so you can see what it is in case you want to, purchase it yourself. So let's add our bottom cabinets. I really love this one. It's fantastic. The color is not accurate because I grabbed this from, I think it was from Pinterest. It is an IKEA kitchen, but photos were taken with a flash or something like that. It is very beautiful. It's wood. It's a different kind of wood tone compared to the floor. So we're adding a little bit of contrast here. Contrast is good. In this case, I think it's good. We are also trying to make the space look less flat, because if we added one of those white cabinets at the bottom, it would be just like very, very boring, So we're trying to add some layer to it to look a little bit more designer. Okay. Now, because the kitchen is very small, I want to add more space. So I'm going to be adding at the top of the kitchen wall, I'm going to be adding cupboards up to the ceiling. I hate it when they are cut and you have that weird space between ceiling and cupboards, and there's dead space you cannot utilize, and it's a shame. And in this case, I'm going to be using white cabinets, because although we want to have a lot of cabinets, we don't want to have that heaviness that comes with having a lot of furniture at the top of your walls. So in this case, I think it's fantastic and very, very useful. And there you go. I think already it's fabulous. Now, we want to add a backsplash, but we don't want to be too contrasting between the two. So I think this one, I think it's kind of an eggshell. Maybe there's some green in it. I'm not sure. So this and this. Again, because I grabbed this is not IKEA. This is something else. Obviously, this is something that you have to purchase separately. But we needed to make the kitchen look, put together. And honestly, I think it's fabulous. It has this continuation of the upper cupboards and it gives a little bit more texture. The light is bouncing off of it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And let's just add the faucet for good measure here because it looks funny without one. And in terms of that side, I think we're done. We're gonna add maybe a lamp or something like that once we're done with the rest. Okay, so now I will be adding the table and the chairs, and because I'm working with elements from grabbed from the website, they're not the best the way they are cropped or something like that, but it is what it is. So first of all, we're gonna add a carpet, and I'm gonna go with this one. It does have some texture and I think it doesn't intrude too much in the way that this is coming along. I think it's kind of extends the floor and it gives it a bit more texture. And also this type of carpet is very easy to maintain. So let's add our table. So I'm gonna use this table. This table is extendable, yeah? So if you have guests coming over, you can extend it and you can actually have a very nice table in there. And I'm adding these chairs. Of course, you can add another two, but because I'm working, as I said, with these models, they are just very difficult to maneuver. So yeah, I think it's looking pretty cool. Let me just do something because it's bothering me here. All right. Okay. So now what we're missing here is basically light over. But first of all, I want to add my art because art is so important. This piece of art is not from IKEA. I would not recommend getting any art from IKEA. That is the only thing that I don't recommend getting from IKEA. Okay, so I took this photo. Where is it in there? I took this photo of a picture in a museum and I really love it. And I think something like this would look absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You don't have to go for basic, and look at this already, how beautiful the kitchen looks. And we didn't do that much. Don't go for basic art. Go for something that you really love. It's so important. Okay, now let's add our lighting, and let me just go to find it. I have a lot of elements going on here, and this is what we're working with. Of course, this lampshade is from IKEA, but the wiring is not. I would recommend doing this wiring, actually rewiring it and making it a little bit extra by adding a different kind of, a different type of color, a different color wire, so it goes with some element in your home, right? This is very intentional. This is something that actually is that thing that ties your different elements in the house. So we're going to be adding other red elements. We already have a little bit of red orange in the painting there, and you will see more. So I'm going to add some decor in the kitchen to make it nicer. So what else I wanted to do? I think I wanted to add a vase with some greenery, some, again, red flowers. This vase is from IKEA as well. And what else was there? On the side, on this wall across the table, I want to add a little lamp, a wall lamp. So unless I say that it's not from IKEA, everything is from IKEA, okay? And I added a little lamp in the kitchen. Let me just zoom in, and okay, now you see it better. So we have a little lamp there as well. And on this wall where we have the lamp, I'm going to be adding a cupboard. And this cupboard is fabulous. I would love it if we had more space to add another one next to it, because it makes it look so much more expensive. So as you can see, we have added a lot of wood, but it doesn't clash with floor. It looks intentional. And we're making this apartment warm. This is the thing that sometimes you see in these new builds. Everything looks the same. All the finishes are the same. There's nothing that makes the space look warm and inviting. It's just extremely basic. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having something simple, but if you're starting from scratch, you might as well be intentional about what you bring into your home. In terms of furniture, of course. All right, so at this point, we need some curtains, and I'm going to have a different angle for the curtains in the next steps. But for now, I'm going to just add them on the side so you can see, how it looks with curtains. And voila, already, wow, it's making such a big difference, okay? And we have a little one here. I mean, my design is, Anyway, so now I'm going to be adding some elements in view here on the side, basically in this area. We're going to be adding the couch and everything else that comes with that to make the living room. So first of all, I'm going to be adding the couch. This again is from IKEA. I know. It looks fabulous. Honestly, it's such a beautiful couch. It looks pretty timeless to me. The material, you have a lot of colors to choose from and some types of materials. But overall, I think is a great choice. I'm gonna add the carpet. And as you can see, we already have red going on in here. Okay, so let's add something else here on the side. We're gonna add this. So I filled in the carpet because it kind of disappeared when I cropped it. So add another poof here. So we have 2 poofs. And these ones also have storage. So we're adding another type of material next to the couch, which the couch, I think it's corduroy or velour or something like that. And this is velvet. And the carpet is supposed to be wool, which is fantastic. So we have wool, we have corduroy, we have velvet, we have jute, we have the cotton of the drapes. We have a lot of nice textures going on right now. And let me just add some things on this couch. So I'm going to add some pillows, make it nice. As you can see, the pillows tie in with our curtains, with our carpet in the kitchen, a little bit with the kitchen and we have a lot of things going on here. A little throw. We have some, I hate this word, but we have a few pops of color. I'm gonna add a cool lamp here. And also what I wanted to add, a side table. And we are adding this lampshade. I have this in my house. I have actually 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it's overkill, but it's such a beautiful lamp. It's so affordable and it's actually really, really cool. All right, I'm gonna add a coffee table. And as you can see, the coffee table ties in with the wood of the kitchen. So we have continuity between the two areas. Now, what else? I am going to add some little things on our coffee table, actually just this. And yeah, at this point, we are pretty much done with this side. What I will do though, as you can see, we don't have anything on this wall, and this is a wall as you enter the room, basically. Yeah, this is the way you enter the room. And on this right side, you have the wall. And I want to add a piece of art, and this is it. And you will see from the other side of the couch how it looks and how awesome it is when you add a big piece of art onto your wall. And always, when in doubt, scale up your art. Scale it up. Even the pictures that you have with family or stuff like that, and make it big. Give it size, always. Okay, so that is done. Let's move on to the next angle of the room. So as you can see, we started with the kitchen full front. I do like to add sheer curtains with my blackout curtains. I never like to have only these curtains and then the sheers, non-existent, especially when you live so close to the next building. I do like privacy, and also they add a little bit more texture and also block out more sun, but also give a little bit more glow to your room. a lot of also, but they all make sense. And as you can see, we have this little niche that we have to work with now. So let's start with the carpet, because that is one of the most important things here. So I'm gonna go and add my carpet, and you know this carpet already. You've seen it before from the other angle. I will be adding a weird thing that I made here. This is not the actual couch, but I could not work with the model that I had because it was basically a 2D model. So imagine this is the couch I showed you earlier. Yeah, it would be a little bit bigger than what you see here, but we work with what we have. The idea here is that you have the couch here, and then we are adding the poof and the other poof. So this time you see them how they are from this angle, okay? So I'm going to be adding also my lampshade, okay? And let's add our sideboard here because we need a sideboard. Again, the idea is that we're not only adding pretty things and beautiful things, we're adding also storage, okay? We're trying to think of ways of how to integrate as much storage as possible, because as I said, the apartment is extremely small for 2 people to live in. Let's add our table, our couch table. And this also, as I said, adds that touch of, elegance. And as you can see, the sideboard has the same design, is the same basically model as our tall cabinet that we put on this wall here. And obviously they look like an integrated, connected system, which they are. So that is good. We love that for us. So now, in order to maximize this space, we are going to be adding a TV on the wall. And this is one of those smart TVs that, you can get now. They're not that expensive. And of course, when it's switched off, you have some art in it. And when it's on, obviously, it's a TV. Now, I know what you're thinking, but this big window here is going to cause issues. You're not going to be able to see the TV when it's hot, it's summer. I get it. I know. I agree with you. So for that, we're going to be adding a weird curtain that I kind of meshed here. So basically this would be a normal curtain, but you would have to have a system where it comes like curtain kind of thing, like folded. Doesn't look very good here, but I hope you get it. There would be a system in place for this to look this way, maybe even custom made, I would say. Maybe this would be one of those items that you would have to invest a little bit. Even get a Roman shade specifically for this type of windows. This is one of the things that you probably will not be able to get from IKEA. But this is, the only thing. And the TV, obviously. All right, let's add our other elements here. So I'm going to add a vase on our console, some flowers in there. I'm going to add a lamp next to the sideboard. I'm going to add my candlesticks, side table here, our details here. I'm going to add my lamp, a little vase, and another lounge chair because, we can. I don't know if it's going to fit with the couch, but if it doesn't, you can maybe replace the poofs or move the poofs on the other side and have the lounge chair on this side. Everything can work very well. And on this side of the wall, I'm going to be adding this beautiful piece of art and a picture light on top of it to make it a little bit more classy. And look at that. It's already so fantastic. Let me just add some glow to our light. What else? Some books here. Glow on that. And I think that's it for this angle. And look at that. It's looking fabulous. I think this is actually really, really nice. And if you really don't have the space here, you can add other poofs or some stools if you want. So that's a solution. Now let's move on to the other angle because there's more to it. All right, so we are now at the other side, basically where the couch is. We're looking towards the other room, the bedroom, basically. And as you can see, we have here that niche. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add something in the niche. So as an idea, first of all, this is the color of the kitchen. I think it's fabulous. Honestly, this is how I want my kitchen to look like on a budget. It's absolutely stunning. And it comes with this oven at the top, not at the bottom. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And then you have more space for a fridge in there as well. All right. Now, as you can see, we have all this space and we need to utilize it better. So let's add our next element. So I'm going to be adding one of these shelves. This system is available from IKEA, and I will again leave the name and the pictures of it here on the screen somewhere. I think it's fabulous, and this is one of those systems that I will be getting for my own home. It looks very architectural, very intellectual, but obviously it depends on how you style it. And in this case, I think the styling is quite okay. You can even have, I don't know for sure, but I think they have some herbs here. You can have herbs, like your kitchen is here, herbs. And then you can have some plants. You can even add some a lamp here. You know, you can organize it better than this, I would say. But this is the idea. And you can even make it come all the way here. You can have one of those pestas, but I don't know how wide this space is, how much space you would have, how much depth for one of those. But I think there are solutions for anything. Okay, so let's see what else can we add here. I'm going to be adding my plants on the table so you can see it better. I'm gonna add my lampshade, and what I will do here, because that's the only thing we need to add here, is the big piece of art that I was talking about. And look at this. I mean, would you think and say that this is an IKEA apartment? No, it is true. The apartment without the piece of art is fine, but once you add the art, it changes everything and what type of art you add. This is a painting that I made and I'm so proud of it, but you can add whatever you want, whatever you like. I can also imagine a big piece of art, black and white, something cool that you love. And also imagine this looks a little bit flat, probably comes all the way in here, so it's going to take a little bit more space. But all in all, I think it's great. So this is the other angle, and I think we are done, and you have seen all the angles. One thing I didn't show you basically on this one, what we are going to be doing with this triangle, because the light will actually hit through. In the summer it's going to be very hot and we're gonna have issues. We're not gonna be able to see on the TV. So I have actually a curtain. Did I not? The curtain. So there's a way you can do this. So you basically install the rail on this wall right here, and then you would put the curtain up like this, and maybe even on the bottom you would have this rail sitting there. I think there are solutions. So I did some renders, and let's see how this would all translate in a better way. I think it's better than what you see, so at least you can get a little bit of a photorealistic image of how this apartment would look like. All right, and here we are. I think it's fabulous. It looks really good. I don't know if it expanded a little bit of space, but you know, it's not perfect. As you can see, some things are not where they should be, but all in all, I think it's looking really good. And honestly, I would love to live here. Let me show you the other angles. All right, the other angle looks like this. I think the lamp in the kitchen is a little bit disproportionate. It's smaller normally. But yeah, this is kind of how I imagined it. And yeah, the couch is too small. But I think you get the idea, right? And the other angle from the couch side, as you can see, this is what I meant. At the bottom, you could add a little bit more cabinets and you have this big piece of art. I think it's really doable. I will have here somewhere on the screen how much all this would cost. Up and down is just an estimate, and I'm calculating only IKEA items, not everything else. But I think it's such a great apartment already. It has great bones. And imagine if you actually paint the walls as well, add a little bit of other stuff. But for the most part, this is IKEA. 99% is IKEA. How cool is this? So IKEA can be high-end if you really put some thought in it and don't buy just random stuff from there. You actually think things through. I think that is the secret. And if you like to see more of this kind of videos, hit the like button and subscribe and all the good stuff. And I'll see you next time.